Right. That is a very good insight, is that, well, I think people in general, not just women, are interested in how they're coming across, and they're interested in learning about themselves and learning about their own personalities. And if you can come in as not necessarily an authority, but just that you have some kind of insight, that is gonna it's gonna get her listening for at least a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
What about conversation? What type of topics work? What have you seen working really well recently? What have guys said to you that have made you really, really interested in talking to them? Any topics?
Well, that's an interesting question too, because that's one of the questions that I get the most from men is, what do I talk to women about? And I feel like that stumps a lot of men, because a lot of these men are able to have numerous conversations throughout their day, but as soon as a woman comes along, they freeze up. The truth is that women are open to talking about anything as long as you're asking their opinion on it. And usually they like to know more about the topic that they're talking about, but you can really ask a woman anything. But ones that I've seen that definitely get women to be engaged, one of my clients actually wrote this to me because it's something he tried. A lot of women, we want to feel happy, obviously, and as men, you want to make us happy. So if you ask a woman, like, what was the last thing that made you really happy, or what makes you really happy, or when you were a child, what made you really happy to do? Those are always interesting conversation because it gets a woman to dig a level deeper and reveal herself a little bit. And then also brings up a really happy memory. So, it's like a little bit of NLP in there. But again, I do want to say that I'm not a fan of tactics, but I understand that as a man, when you're first learning this stuff before figuring out your own stuff and your own way of talking to women, that you may have to rely on certain tactics. As long as you can veer away from using them the same way somebody else has used them as a routine and make them into your own, then you're going to be successful, then you're going to win lots of women, and then you're going to get exactly what you want. But if you only rely on those tactics and you don't really take them in and make them your own, they're not going to work for you. So the tactic I just described can be very helpful and can be a segue for you so that you can calm down and give yourself another minute to relax and get comfortable around a woman. But it's not a tactic to rely on to get a woman to take off her underwear instantly and go home and have sex with you. So just for you to know that you do have to have more than that simple conversation to get what you want out of a woman.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think that tactics are fine as long as you're seeing why it works, you're seeing the deeper level of it, and then also gaining intuition from actually using the tactic, because whenever you go out and use a tactic, you're going to get some kind of feedback from it. And as long as you're learning from that feedback, and a lot of the power of the tactic is getting a guy just to do something. So many guys,
exactly.
They just want to sit home and don't want to go out and talk to women. They just want to, or they want to figure out the entire plan first. They want to know exactly what they're going to do from point A to point Z, and they want to have it completely planned out, and they're not willing to make mistakes.
Of
and
course.
I think that getting a guy to get used to making those mistakes and get him okay with making mistakes is really, really important.